Today I have the challenge of figuring out what's the best way to sew this piece down. The first thing you want to do is evaluate your art as soon as you see it and say, okay, what's its condition, what's its previous problems, and how do I avoid doing the same mistakes that the piece originally had or got from the last frame job. So in this case, this piece was originally paper hinged, and whoever did the hinging didn't wash their hands afterwards. So the starch paste actually got on their fingers, and when they were working on it, the paste left marks on the silk. Over time, that paste kind of left permanent damage, and it also left water damage from oversaturation on the silk. So with any silk piece, you want to avoid water, you want to have clean hands, and you don't want to use paper. You want to actually stitch the piece down. I like to sew similar materials together or do similar textiles with textiles. In this case, I'm using a Tiffany silk mat in this pretty celadon green, and it's going on with a silk piece. A lot of designers will do their own thing, but I find that like materials complement each other and overall will give a beautiful aesthetic in the end. So when it comes to this piece, I also have to decide what my margins are going to be and place it and center it the best I can. In this case, we're actually doing an Asian mat where the mat is heavier at the top and bottom and smaller margins on the side. In this case, we're doing 2 1/4 top and bottom and 1 3/4 on the side. If you wanted it to be really dramatic, you could do 3 inches top and bottom and 1.5 inches to 2 inches on the side and really give it an elongated look, which is really pretty and kind of over the top, but depending on the space and the height of the wall and the ceiling, could look really stunning in the right place. This case, we're actually going a little smaller because we're going to actually do the same proportions as the original frame job. So I figured out my margins, and now it's time to figure out how do I sew this down. So I found the top, and the top is actually here. And I've decided I also want to hide my stitches. So I can't pierce through the silk at the top or you're going to see them. So in this case, I'm actually going to go along the seams and underneath the seam at the top here. In return, it's going to kind of look like that on the back, and I hope you can see it. The rest of the way down, I'm actually going to stitch it. Normally on a large textile, including rugs or something that's going to be hanging in a vertical direction, especially a textile in a vertical direction, you typically only want to sew or mount at the top of the textile and let the rest hang freely. This piece has a twist to it. We're actually going to be using plexiglass. So plexi typically has a static charge, and the static will actually pull the silk to the front of the glass. So I do have to tack it down the full length, or you're going to notice the static charge pulling it. So I've decided that to avoid puckering or other problems, what I'm going to do is actually lace it and do like a loose lacing down the full length of the garment or the piece. So the lacing, I'm going to flip this around, actually looks like this, where you actually kind of poke a hole and go across, and poke a hole and go across in a zigzag pattern down the full length. If you were to go straight across, you actually might cause a pucker down the silk. So this should distribute the weight evenly and also not pull or add a lot of tension to the textile. I think overall it's going to be a really stunning piece when it's done, and there's 4 of them. They're the seasons. This one I think is winter, and I think the customer will be happy. So thank you again, and I hope this helps. And remember, always look at your piece, evaluate it, decide how you're going to mount it, and the challenges that the other parts of the frame are going to cause. And try to do like materials together, because I think that you'll get a better results and also it's better for the piece in the long run. So thanks again, and have a good day. Bye.